Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariana from Where Black Sheep Meet, and today's video is of course Flosstube number 10. So crazy, I didn't even realize until I was thinking about what episode this was today. So it's really exciting to finally make it into the double digits. In the words of Hannah Dowling, this is a video about cross stitch. So if that's not what you're here for, then head on back because you're in the wrong part of YouTube. Go check out Hannah Dowling. She's hilarious. She just finished her giant Mulan piece, beautiful. And then next year, she's starting all the things. She's gonna start Halloween Quaker on a totally different fabric. She's gonna have a lot. So go subscribe. She's getting really close to 1,000 subs. I totally forgot to check how many, but she's getting close. So hopefully she can hit that real soon, because then it opens up all the fun YouTube things here. But yeah, so she's linked down below too. Go check her out. I do my Flosstube videos every first Saturday of the month. So here we are again. Honestly, I don't even know how to begin this video. It's been a month. And I'm sure a few of you know now at this point, like, I honestly don't even know what to say other than all that bad juju, I guess, got into full swing this month, and I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore because it's really taken a lot out of me this month. And unfortunately, it started to even get into my stitching, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But still, just a lot of little things. I mean, if you've been watching my streams, which I'll talk about in a minute, you've seen all my technical difficulties. Like, I'm not lying. Something's out to get me right now. And there, of course, have been some really big personal life stuff going on, minus the fact that the whole family has been sick all month, literally all month. We had like one COVID scare. So I'm just gonna try and not get into all the negative. I don't need to explain. You guys don't come here to like hear the negative stuff to ruin your day. You come because you want a distraction. So I guess overall, all I just want to say about the month in general is that personally, I am not religious. I'm not a religious person. But I consider myself pretty spiritual in the way that the universe is very much give and take. And I feel like it's taking a lot right now. In the last few months, it's taking a lot. So I'm only assuming that either this is making up for the smooth sailing that I've had, or now considering this month, maybe it's building up to something really good that's coming to me soon. So I'm very positive. I'm a positive person. So in my mind, something good is coming up soon. And that's why all of this bad stuff has kind of gotten a hold, maybe, that it's collecting the negative to return the positive. Whatever you put out comes back to you. So I'm manifesting only good things are coming soon from this. I mean, there has been actually some pretty good things that have started to happen, especially more toward the later half of the month. For example, I finally, after 2.5, 3 years of trying, I've lost 10 pounds. And so my body is finally catching up to the effort that I'm putting into it, which is exciting. And then my whole new endeavor on Twitch, I got affiliated within a month. And that was really exciting. It's something new. I think I just needed to like take this jump and do something different right now, because I felt like I was just running out of, not influence, but inspiration, I guess. I was running out quite a bit of. So I feel like this new endeavor that I'm doing right now is kind of giving me a little boost of my self-esteem more than anything, because I am putting myself out there a lot more. Like, you're seeing real time, real me, real time, non-edited. You know how I love to edit my videos. So disclaimer, I'm doing this video much later in the day, so I'm getting different lighting, so hopefully that doesn't mess up the colors of everything. And everybody's home right now, so we're getting tons of noise in the back. So we're definitely gonna get tons of noise in the background. Sorry about that. It is what it is. I'm just gonna go with it because I want this video to go up in time. Today, the day that I'm filming, is actually Thursday, so it gives me enough time to edit and upload so that it's ready for you guys on Saturday. So I did mention that my snail, Mr. Soggy Bottom, wasn't doing too good, and he did unfortunately die, poor little thing. And that was the beginning of September. So in mid-September, I ended up going to pick up a new snail, and he is a black racer nearite snail. And since my fish are military fish, because we're a military family, case in point, and so I decided to keep him part of the group, and I named him Sergeant Sticky Licky, and he is the coolest little snail. He's definitely a little different from my tiger nearite snail, and he comes out of his shell a little more, I've noticed. So it's really fascinating to watch him, and he is super fast. Every time I look at my tank, he's in a different spot. So I've been enjoying my new little snail, and as of Sunday, the 3rd of October, my senior Chihuahua dog is turning 18. So he's trekking through it. I mean, he obviously can't hear very well, can't see very well. He's on medication for the rest of his life for his Cushing's disease. He has a failing kidney, a heart murmur, and he's got a really stiff back and back legs now, but he's trekking on, and my vet is more than confident that he will be leaving Texas with us in 2 years when we go to move to our next duty station, wherever that may be. So he's up there, but he's not ready to go yet. He's still ready to stick around. So that's a really nice celebration. I'm glad nothing bad went wrong with him this month, because I swear, I swear, I could not take it. I would not be able to take it. That would have probably been my breaking point for sure. Other good news, I finally got a haircut. I know I have my hair up, but Sam from AK Lounge here in San Antonio, if you're in the area, he's amazing. Check him out. But there is a Trader Joe's next to it, and if you guys have been listening to any of my streams, you know I've been talking about these. They're s'more bites, but you stick them in the microwave for 6 seconds and it like melts the marshmallow. Amazing. I haven't had these in like 4 or 5 years. So I've been talking about them like crazy, and so I finally went to Trader Joe's because it's closer to my hair salon. My hair salon's pretty far. And I picked up like 5 of these, and it's been really hard not to eat the whole box. I eat 1 a day, and it's just enough. But these are actually pretty decently priced now that it seems like they put a couple more than they used to. It's like $5 or something a box. Don't go online. Online is like $20 and I don't know why. But if you're there, pick these up. Smashing s'mores. Amazing. But definitely, like I said, I think this is just a test on my soul. The universe is testing my soul right now, and maybe with this whole Twitch thing going on, it's maybe preparing me for bigger and better things. So I'm going to manifest that that's what's going on. So moving into my little book blurb, I didn't get as much reading done this month as I wanted to. Like I said, this goes hand in hand with everything else. I just kept picking up books and I would get into like, I don't know, 50 to 100 pages of a book, and I would DNF it, which pretty much means did not finish. And it's where you just stop reading that book because you're not interested, or you're bored, or you just don't want to force yourself to read something you don't really want to read. So there have been so many books that I picked up, and I would get in a bit and I just was not into them. I was doing so well with my reading, where almost every book I picked up, it was just so good. And I found like 2 of my favorite series of all time and everything. And then now it's just like nothing. It's just been a consistent dead nothing. But I did finish a couple books. One that I did finish was A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is the 3rd book from A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I read last month. So it's like a little novella. Honestly, it wasn't that great. It kind of didn't really add much to the story, and it made me hate the sisters more than I already did. So I have the 4th book on my audiobook ready to go. I'm not sure I want to start it just because I heard that that one was about the sisters. So I'm like, great, I don't really want to read about them. So I don't know. If I get in the mood before it has to be returned to read it, then I'll read it. But right now I'm not interested in reading it. But I want to finish the series because I think that's the last book in that series. The next book I read was, I figured since I was picking up all these books that were not getting me like into them, let me try something that everybody's been hyping up and something completely different. So this is like a paranormal romance, and it's called Her Soul to Take, and it's the Souls trilogy. And everybody was talking about this. It's about a demon who gets summoned by this girl who's into like making YouTube videos about haunted houses and ghost hunting and things like that. So she summons this demon, and he's being like captured by a family who's controlling him, and they want him to kill this girl, but he takes an interest in her and says pretty much no, and they have their romance. It's a much darker story and lots of trigger warnings, but that kind of a dark story was my first time reading something like that, and it was okay. The story was okay, but it wasn't my type of romance story that I like. So I tried it, but it's definitely not for me. It's a good book, but I didn't personally connect with it, I guess is the best thing to say. Like, I can tell it was a good story, it just wasn't for me. So I read that, like I said, okay. And then finally, I picked up another book that's been super hyped about, and it's called 4 Psychos. But another thing about it is that supposedly, I just found out, it's just like my second favorite series that I've read so far. So the first book in this series is very eerily like the first book in the Heart Hassle series, which is called The Signs of Cupidity. That's that first book. And so it took a little bit to get past it because it was literally like a lot was the same. But once I got into about 50, 60 pages, I was able to get more into the story, and I am attached. I have read the second book today. I started and finished the second book today, and I'm ready to read the third. I'm like, let's go. I need to know what happens because I think there's 4 books in this series. And anyways, so this one essentially is about 4 like demon hunters, and there's this girl who is a ghost, and she's invisible, who can't be seen and heard or anything like that. And she's following these guys that are super hot around, and then one day she goes to protect one of them and gets knocked into reality, and they can see and hear her and everything. So like I said, very similar to Signs of Cupidity. But it definitely changes. The second book was definitely going more in a different direction. So I felt like Raven Kennedy, who is the author for the other series, like read this book and loved that like beginning premise of it, and then started writing her story version of it, and then it like went in its own direction, because that one's about Cupid, like an actual Cupid, a girl who's a Cupid. So I'm totally enjoying it. I'm so happy I finally found some books I can finally get into again. So hopefully my little slub of reading has finally passed and I can read a few more books this next month. Because we're in October. October is my month. Halloween is my holiday. So I'm determined that this month is gonna go great. It's gonna go great. So that was my little book blurb. That, I'm telling you, that's all I was really able to really get into this month. I guess let's get into the stitching next. I just realized I didn't tell you any of the fabrics. That's a first. I guess I'll just have to pop up the little names on the screen, just so you know. Wow, I'm telling you, my brain's not all there today. It is not there, and it's the end of the day. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm ready. You see me on stream tomorrow? Well, yesterday. Yeah. So this one's gonna be different. I know with all of my Flosstube videos so far, I've been consistent. I'm a consistent stitcher. I have my plan and I do my plans. And if anything, I may not reach a goal here and there, but for the most part, I'm pretty good at like making my plans and meeting them. This month did not happen at all the way I wanted it to. So I guess to start off, I did not work on any of my full coverage pieces this month. So that's including Celestine, Persephone, Windrunner, and then I didn't even start the Mickey Halloween, the Halloween Mickey. I forget the name of it at the moment. I didn't even start that yet. And I'll tell you why once I show you what I have done. So I guess let's get into the first project that comes up after, because there's Celine Persephone, and then I have Halloween Quaker. So let's get into Halloween Quaker. So here's what Halloween Quaker looked like last time you saw it. And my goal on this was to be like my 25/7 piece, but essentially I was working on it an hour a day for the most part. And my goal was to finish this. So what did I do? I finished it. It's done. It's done. It's finally done. This is amazing. This is so amazing. I love it. I'm in love. I'm with you. I know this little tiny border side is like driving you crazy, like it's driving me crazy, but I know I placed it there because I wanted this splotch of color to be in this area. So it evened out. And then I wanted this splotch to be like in, and then I think that's what it mostly was. I think I wanted this splotch near the witch because it kind of would make it look like the sky. So I think that's why I moved it over, because I totally forgot until I took it off that Q snap the last time. And I was like, wait a minute. But no, I think I did that intentionally, I'm pretty sure. But it is done. It's amazing. So I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about this one. So I hope I got everything in that shot because I couldn't see what I was doing. But I guess let's get into it. This month, my bad luck, like I said, came into my stitching, and all 4 out of 5 projects that I worked on, I've had to frog. And when I say I had to frog, I mean I had to frog like a lot. So this one was no different. You see these skeletons? There's like 1.5 invisible skeletons there that you cannot see, because I had to stitch this one twice, and I messed up over on this one a little bit, because turns out in the border I am 1 stitch too short on this side. So there should be 1 more stitch in between the skeleton. I didn't notice that until the end when I was like, why is this not lining up? So I unstitched him to realize I was right, and I messed up the border. So I decided not to frog the whole border, at least half of it, to add 1 stitch in between. It looks fine. I'm leaving it. I'm not gonna deal with that. Nope, 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 nope. And that was toward the end. So I already had other projects I was frogging on before I got to this point. But I was so determined to have this finished that I said, nope, we're gonna take it out and we're gonna finish this. So there was that. Also, I noticed in the pattern, in the pattern itself, it's missing these little triangles on this one corner. So I added those in. And then, what else did I mess up? Oh, I did notice on the pattern there's an extra space between the W and the E, so I just made them closer. I was like, I don't know, there's kind of like a weird gap, so let me just, it didn't make a difference to the pattern, so I just moved it in. And then I realized that this flower is 1 stitch down too far. So all of this side is 1 stitch farther, except when I got to here, I was working this way, so this is fine. Then I have the other half of this circle, it's invisible because I took it out since it was too high up to this, because I stitched this one first. And then the reason why I unstitched this one, for one, because it was right next to this and I was like, oh no, that's too high. But also this is 1 stitch in too far. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's all I'm gonna say. It's done. It's stunning. It's beautiful. I love it. I did do my back stitching. I didn't put eyebrows on the witch. I felt like she would look too angry, and she kind of has a cute little face. I tried to add like different eyebrows, but it wasn't coming out, and I didn't want to ruin it. So I just left her without eyebrows. I think she looks really cute without the angry eyebrows. So I let those go. And then instead of stitching like, what is it, my initials and the year, I just did the word candy, and I just alternated all the colors. Because I don't know, it just felt weird to like put my initials. I don't think I minded the year, but my initials, I was like, oh, that's too much. So I just put candy in there. And it looks cute. I'm really happy with that decision. But yeah, I backstitched the little spider web. My little spider web, I finally did that, and all their little hairs on them. There was so many little hairs. And then the witch's face also had back stitching too, and I didn't realize that, the one flying over the moon. So Halloween Quaker is done, which means that you guys get a Flosstube extra, because I'm gonna go out and buy a frame for this, and I will do a video of me framing this up. And I have some ideas to decorate the frame a little bit. So like I said, I'll have a whole video getting into exactly what I'm doing. So in case you're having your framing questions, we can go through it and do it together. So Halloween Quaker, I didn't even say, Halloween Quaker is by Leela Studio, but I'm sure everybody knows that by now. It's on a 40 count hand-dyed linen called Halloween Party by Barbara Creations. Love the fabric. It's probably one of my favorite fabrics that I've stitched on. I love stitching on linen. It's just, the 40 count was a little too small for me. And I worked on this for 20 days out of this whole month. And I did 6,224 stitches to complete it. And that's not counting the back stitch. So that's it. That's Halloween Quaker, you guys. That's Halloween Quaker. It's done. I'm so excited to have it framed and up in my room for Halloween. That was the goal. So now I can enjoy it all Halloween. I mean, it's going to stay up all year. Who am I kidding? It's going to stay up all year, but let's enjoy it when it deserves to be enjoyed. And here is the back for Halloween Quaker. Like I said, this legit looks the same like the front. Super cool. I mean, not that it matters, but it's just, like I said, you know, I like to see the differences in how all the backs come out, just because, you know, you can stitch the same way on 2 different projects and they'll turn out completely different. So I love seeing the contrasting in it. So the frogging on that definitely was a couple hundred stitches. So including all those stitches I did to complete it, add another couple hundred stitches, because like I said, those skeletons and that other part, ugh, too much frogging. And that was only one piece. Oh, and then to go over what was left for Halloween Quaker, just so, you know, to get all the details in there. These were all the rest of the floss that I had left. So pretty much I had a decent amount of every color left. So if you already have these colors, you definitely don't need to buy more. The only one I would say, this was my black, this was one skein of black. So it did get pretty low. The purple rainy day. There's smoke. Smoke got a little thin, so I think I used about half. And then blackbird, I left this on here. So I did go through one whole skein of blackbird, and then I touched a little bit on the second one. So in case you're doing this on a 40 count, I didn't even say it was 2 over 1. No, 1 over 2. 1 strand of floss over 2 strands of fabric. Strands of fabric? I'm tripping out. I haven't been sleeping the last couple days. My daughter, toddler and colds. That's all I'm gonna say. So my mind's not there right now, completely. But yeah, that was the only one that I ran low on, because the pattern did call for, because I have all my extra floss here, and it called for 4 blackbirds, and I didn't even touch these. It called for 4 black coffees, and I only touched 1. So, oh, and it called for 2 smoke, and I only touched the 1. So in case you're doing it on the same count and the same stitching, same way of stitching, full cross and everything, that's how much I used. So in case you're wondering, so I'm gonna, of course, you know, put this away in my stash. So maybe I might use some of these colors on another project I'm thinking of starting, but we'll discuss that later. So after that, we're getting into moss and bugs. Now this one, here's what it looked like last time. And here's where it is now. So as you can see, I did almost get as much done as I wanted. Remember, I wanted to get the whole row because I was doing it by rows. But as you can see, we have a frog that I haven't done yet. All of this yellow is in the wrong spot. So that's gotta be frogged. I almost made it. I don't know, for some reason this month when I was stitching on these, I wasn't into it this month. I was kind of feeling like I was forced to do it. And not forced, but I just wasn't in the mood. And so I don't know if maybe I was in a rush, but I don't know. So yeah, I stitched all this yellow. There was more. And yeah, it's all gotta come out. It's all gotta come out. But this is Moss and Bugs. It's by Pinochka on Etsy. And I do love it. I absolutely love this piece. And it looks gorgeous the more and more bugs that are on it. But like I said, I don't know. It just wasn't hitting right this month. And so I worked on it. I did work on it for 4 days, and that's how I knew, because this was one of the first projects I started on, besides Halloween Quaker, because that was my everyday. And yeah, so this was like my first main one I worked on, and I felt like it set the mood for the month. So it took me 4 days to get this far, and usually it only takes me like 2 or 3. So that's how I knew like it was taking longer to stitch things this month too. And this is where it started. But I did get 916 stitches with this, what's here. So that puts me at 3,937 stitches, and I'm at 43.36%, but I have to frog about 100 stitches. So this was my second frog this month. But it's gorgeous. I mean, you know, I'm in love with this piece. So it'll get done. I'm sad that I couldn't meet my goal because it's such a small thing. But once I saw how many stitches I messed up, I just had to put it down. It had to be put down. So I folded it up, said, I'll see you later. It's in timeout. There you go. I put it in timeout. So that was Moths and Bugs. After Moths and Bugs was Space Dragon. And Space Dragon is from Lola Lotta Shop on Etsy. So here's what it looked like last time you saw it. And my goal on this was to do all my X's, complete all the X's, and then maybe possibly, depending how things go, finish all the back stitching, because it's intense. It's a Russian design, a Russian pattern. So they're intense with back stitching. So where did I get to? I finished this one too. So as much as I didn't get to work on my full coverages, I at least have 2 full finishes. 2 full finishes to say that I completed. Look how cute he is. So this is Orion. I named him Orion. You know, I love my naming. I love to name things. And he's so adorable. Yeah, backstitching, yeah. I don't know if I did it right. That was my first time doing that kind of backstitching. But I just tried to follow the pattern and find the spots that seem logical where it should meet with the X's and stuff. And yeah, so this is him up close. He's beautiful. Why is this not working? There we go. So you can see all the details, all the little stars. Oh, I love it. The only creepy thing is this little planet here. It looks like a face and it freaks me out. But I don't know how to hide it, so it's just gonna stay. It's gonna stay. It's fine. But yeah, Orion is done. My little space dragon's done. And I realized I didn't even show you guys the back last time, so here's the back. And this one is so cool because it looks like a constellation, like a legit constellation, like constellations on the back of it. So I thought that was such a cool touch. But the back stitching really like makes it almost look like the front. So yeah, so that's the back. But yeah, so this too, you will get another Flosstube extra of me framing this one as well. So obviously I like different. I'm not gonna go framing them all the same. So I'm gonna do a different sort of, try and decorate the frame for this one a little different to make it all kind of pop and go together. So I have some ideas for this one as well. But yeah, he's adorable. So this took me 7 days to complete. I did 2,334 stitches, not including any of the back stitch. There's lots of back stitching, and you guessed it, I frogged. He had some frogging. I had to frog, where was it? This cloud, I believe. Yeah, it was up in this cloud here. I had it to out farther, and I had to bring it in, or it was too high up, one or the other. So I had done like half of it and a little bit more, and I had to take all of that out. It had to all come out, and I had to restitch it. So it came out to about 70 stitches. I made sure to mark that down. Because at this point the frogging was being consistent, so I made sure to mark what I was frogging. So yeah, so this one had some frogging as well. But like I said, it was so close to being done. I was like, let me get it done. Let me just finish him. He's almost there. I was like, let me get this last finish in, so that way when I get into plans later, you'll see what it helps me do for my plans. So that is Orion. That's my second finish. 2 finishes. So this puts me at 3 total cross stitch finishes. Yes. And here is the floss that's left over from my Space Dragon. So you can see I literally have so much of each color. After Space Dragon, we have the Cryptid Sal. I call it the Cryptid Sal, but it's called Creepy Cryptids. But when you search for it and stuff, it's called the Cryptid Sal, and it's by the Witchy Stitcher, and quite a few people are doing this, but I love seeing each and every one. But I've been in love with this pattern since I saw that initial like release of the frame. But here's where it was last time. I believe I just got to the frame and I was about to start stitching Mothman because he had just come out when I did my video, because it comes out on Fridays. So here is where it's at now. So I am all caught up on this. I have all 3 little cryptids that are out so far. Well, actually, today's Thursday, so the next one will come out tomorrow on Friday. So by the time you see this video, the next one's already out. But they're so cute. Oh my God, I die. I die every time. Look how cute. And if you follow the group on Facebook, so many people are doing so many different alterations that they're making them so completely different. And it's really interesting to see like the creativity. But I'm just following the basic pattern because I just absolutely love the style. That's my style. It's gothy, Victorian, steampunky, dark, and everything. So totally my vibes. I have no qualms with the original design. But we have Mothman, and then we have the night crawlers, and then we have the Enfield horror. So I did, while I was stitching these, I went and looked up these 2 because I didn't know much about them. Although I remember seeing a video about the night crawlers, and so when I saw it again, I was like, oh yeah, like I know I've seen it before. But yeah, it's super creepy, super weird. And then I watched this one, and even though, yes, that is 3 legs, legs. But the original artwork that I've seen of what he supposedly looks like, it does not look like this. He looks actually a lot cuter this way. The other one's more like monster, like alien looking, and this one's more like Bigfooty, weird. But yeah, they got their little back stitching on them and everything. Super cute. I love it. I'm in love. So I did work on this for 5 days. Like I said, everything's taking me longer to work on than normal. So it did take me a hot minute to get these little guys done. So far, the cryptids all together, just the cryptids, I did 2,577 stitches. And I frogged on this. Are you guys getting tired of hearing that? Because I felt tired doing it. But I had to frog my little night crawler. So I did his little top head here at the very top. And then I came down because I figured I would stitch up and around, right? Because I like my little pads. Well, it turns out when I was lining it up with the bottom here, I realized that this is off. I did 1 extra stitch on this side, so there's 1 less stitch on this side. So when I lined it up with this, it was off by 1. But I couldn't leave it because I had already stitched the top part. And I didn't want it to throw everything else off. So essentially, I frogged 50 stitches to get rid of whatever of this side of the leg I had, and had to move it over 1 to continue stitching. So that was my frog on this project. But it's done for now. So this is an FFN, finished for now. And like I said, as soon as you see this video, basically it's time to start stitching the next one. I'm so curious to see what it is. I think we're moving down, I believe. So we're gonna go this way. But yeah, super excited about this one. And I'm glad it's a nice little Halloween piece. Like I said, we're getting into the Halloween vibes. Love it. All right, so that was my cryptids. Then we get into my video game sampler, which I call my sweary video game. Here's where it was last time you saw it. You guys, I think, are starting to see the face. Absolutely adore this piece. I absolutely adore this piece. Like I said, I think this is one of my, like, I love all my projects, but this is definitely up at the top favorites, if not my top favorite, because I just love this. Well, here's what it looks like now. Let's just start with that. So here's what it looks like now. As you can see, we got the half stitch here. I just put that down and put it away. So I think my goal on this was to finish the first section, or the second section here, which I think I was gonna go down to Donkey Kong's ladder and do it there. So I was almost there. It was like right here, I think. So I finished this row of words, and then it was the Donkey Kong ladder. So it wasn't a big giant piece, but it was also supposed to have the rings on this side, right? So that's where I started. I started with the rings, and then you can see I started on the words below. That's how I felt when I got to this little spot here and realized it didn't line up. Oh gosh. So what happened? Because it wasn't adding up for like 5 minutes. And then I realized that when I finish this, this is right. This is right, because I started going here, but I decided to go this way instead. I started stitching the coins out this way. This is right. But when I got to these two, there's 4 on the top and bottom. And on these two, I only did 3. So when I lined this up with the coins, that's why this is off. It's supposed to be moved over more, so it would finish with that last letter. Oh, sorry, it was the G. The G is right, and this is right, the S for the next one. But you can see my N is a little too far over. And like I said, that's how I felt. It was worthy of a cuss word. Like I said, I'm not a cusser. I'm not usually a cusser unless I'm playing video games, but this was definitely a worthy, valid moment to shout exactly what it said. But this piece is stunning. It's 3D. It's so 3D. It doesn't even look as 3D on the camera as it does in person. Like these, they pop out. This gem, I can't get over gem. This rupee, I did it again. This rupee just like, is like in your face, like I'm real, like pick me up. But you can't. But yeah, no, this piece is so great. So I worked on this for 2 days. I did 1 whole day doing all this, and then the second day I started, I think I finished filling in the hearts, and that's when I started moving out here. And this is all I did before I realized I messed up, and that was it. So I did 803 stitches. So that puts me at 2,640 stitches, and I'm at 21.56% as of this. And I have to frog about 100, between 100 and 200 stitches. So that's why I put it away. But I love this. I didn't even say who it's by. This is by Screaming Hearts Design. It's a donation piece. So you would donate to the NAACP. You send your donation in, and then you take your receipt and you go over to Screaming Heart Designs, send her a message of your receipt of your donation, and she sends you the pattern. So super, super cool concept. I know Pick Stitch does a lot of the same thing with his gamer style that he was doing with all the, where each letter was a different console. And then I didn't know, but he has one for breast cancer, and it's like Kirby in a star. And I was like, oh, I might have to get that one because that one's amazing. But yeah, that one's for a donation to breast cancer. So I definitely would support that. Like, why I don't even have to think about that. That's fine with me. Let's go. Take my money. But yeah, same with this one. This one, I was like, worthy reason. Let's go. Let's do it. So this is my sweary video game. Yeah, the disappointment on that one was probably, that was my last straw. Like, that was the one where I was just like, all right. I think I'm done working on different projects this month. So that's why, that's as far as I got. I worked on all my small projects first, and that's what was going on. So I decided to just say, you know what? The outlook on my full coverages don't look good at this point. Also, everything was taking me much longer to stitch than normal. So at this point, I was already like 10 days out before I had to film this video. And I was like, I'm not gonna get much progress done on any of my full coverage. I got four big ones that, you know, have big substantial amounts that I wanna get done on them. And I just was not confident in getting anything done on them. So that is why I stopped at this point. So the only other project that I worked on was my new normal. And this one is a restart. So here's what it looked like last time. And I am designing the color scheme off of the World of Warcraft fan art that I had found on Pinterest. Here's where I am now. So as you can see, I got pretty good progress on it. I mean, this is my car 25/7 piece. So whenever I go to pick up my daughter from school, I basically sit in the car for like 40 minutes before she gets out, just because parking is insane. So I work on this while I'm waiting. These colors, I wasn't sure. When I just had this much, I was like, okay, it looks really great and everything stands out and I'm happy. But once I started getting like this first circle in, I'm like, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is stunning. I love it. So I'm so happy that I restarted this. And yeah, it's great. It's great. You can see everything. You can see what all the details are. So this one, of course, I worked on every school day, basically, minus 2 days that my daughter was sick and she didn't go to school. So, oh, and at the very end, I did take my Halloween sampler because at a certain point I was almost done and I was just like, I just need to get this done. So I took that one instead a few days. And then there was like 1 or 2 days where I didn't get to do anything because I was talking to my neighbor friend and we were just chatting it up. So for the most part, this is mostly like 2 weeks of stitching, 2 weeks of 30 minutes or so, 2-3 weeks. So I did 996 stitches and that puts me at 2017 and I'm at 5.4%. So like I said, with just that little 30 minutes a day for what, 15 days, if anything, like I got a lot done, almost 1,000 stitches. So this is gonna remain that for the most part. So it's gonna be a slow project. But yeah, so happy with how it's looking. I'm losing the light here. Okay, so that is the new normal. Oh, it's a long dog sampler, but I'm sure you guys know that. I'm sure you guys know that already. All right, so that's all I worked on. That was all I worked on this month. So you can see the struggle was real. The struggle was real for sure this month. I did get some other stuff done though. Let's get into haul, I guess, real quick. If anything, project for me wise, I did end up picking up the rest of my floss for my pile of Yoshis, which is what I'm starting in December for Dinosaur December. And remember, I had this fabric, this light blue. You're not going to see. Oh, there we go. Never mind. You can see this light blue fabric, and I bought all the floss for it. Color. Can you say color? I can say color, and I love it. Yes. Yes, please. So I know there was an issue of, I wasn't sure where that blue Yoshi was. Yeah, it's right there next to the blue edge. I mean, it's right there next to the edge. So definitely might blend in a little bit. But here's the blues that are in this project on this fabric. So you can see there's some really close ones in there. I know I had a suggestion about dip dyeing it kind of to give it like a green bottom. Because like I said, I chose this blue because it reminded me of Super Mario. Like you'd see the blue sky with the clouds and stuff. So she was saying to do green on the bottom, like dip dye it or something. And then that way that blue Yoshi will be where the green is and it'll kind of still look like the concept. And so I haven't tried it yet. So I think I'm going to try it. And if I mess up the fabric, then I'll pick a different color and I'll dye a new piece. So that's basically all my haul as far as my own personal projects go, which I'll explain that in a minute. So there's the colors on that. Yes, it looks great otherwise. Oh my gosh, the sun. It can't make up its mind. But yeah, these colors, awesome. So that is my pile of Yoshis ready to go. I mean, besides kitting up. Oh, I guess not ready to go because I have to see if I can dip dye the bottom of that fabric. So we'll see. We'll see. I have, what, 2 more months? October, November to get it together. So that is my haul. Oh, so this is old haul, but I need to give a shout out to the Snag Nabbit. This thing is incredible. If you do not have one, go get one. You know, I'm about to like go pick up a couple of these and do them for giveaways because they're that good. So it's got this like rigid edging, but you can see it's got rigids and then it's a needle on the bottom. So what you do is if you have a thread poking out of your fabric, you take this and go into the hole next to it. And as you pull it through, you can hear that. It grabs onto the threads around it and pulls them through. What? Amazing. This is amazing. I just wanted to mention that because that's epic. I guess since that was my only haul, I'm trying to make sure I didn't get anything else. I mean, I have lots of haul, but I'll talk about that in a minute. It's part of a different thing. Yeah. So I guess I'll do my quick little shout outs here just because I actually did, as much as I'm not fully watching too much other YouTube, I just continue to watch my same like ride or dies. I did find another new Flosstuber that is super cool. So her Flosstube is Purple Frog Stitches. And I found her because I saw she had like a whip parade. And so I was like, check it out. She looks really cool. She had like purple hair and everything. So, you know, I like those vibes, right? You know, we all know this, and I'm into the edgier vibes. So I saw her video pop up and I was like, okay, cool. I'll watch her whip parade. It's a 4-part whip parade. They're not very long, but she split it, a super long video, into 4 parts. I kid you not, she has so many projects. Like, you know, the person who's got like 50, 60 projects, and maybe like on one hand, I can count the only projects I probably wouldn't stitch myself, but they're really good. They're nice, but I wouldn't personally stitch them. But everything else, I was like, I would totally stitch that. Like everyone she kept pulling up, I was like, oh, I would totally stitch that. I would stitch that too. Put that on the list. I'm stitching that one day. Stitch, stitch, stitch. it was insane. So she definitely has my style of projects and art that I would do. So absolutely love her. She's great. She's only got about 660 subscribers. So she's in that under 1,000 subs club. So go check her out. She was pretty cool. I loved her. Loved her personality. She's super great. Link down below if you're interested. The other thing I realized, I was watching DNA Geek Crafts, and I realized that she has only just hit 200 subscribers. I was like, what? Like, I could have sworn like she had so much more because everybody talks about her. Everybody talks about her. I've been subscribed to her for a while. So she's not like a new Flosstuber to me. Like, I've been watching her. I think at some point I forgot I didn't subscribe, and then I subscribed, and I was already watching her videos like regularly and stuff. So I think that's why I haven't thought to mention her, maybe. I don't know, but I'm mentioning her now because I love her videos anyways, but she's doing all the Halloween stitching. I was like, yes, spooky stitching, let's go. She's got some really great ones. And another bonus is that she does anime stitching. And I have not seen anybody, other than a couple from like Tilton Crafts or whatever, I haven't seen anybody do any anime stitching. Even I want to do anime stitching, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to find them too, though. So I guess I can't complain too much about it, but because I'd love to do a great like one-piece one to go with our game room. Our game room is all one-pieced out, so I'd love to do something one-piece. But in general, Sword Art Online, love Sword Art Online. And who else? Fairy Tail, I like Fairy Tail a lot. So there's some that I really enjoy, and I have not seen any anime one pieces. Besides the ones on Etsy, but not like a really cool, big, like full coverage one kind of a deal a lot of the times, or at least not ones of animes that I like. So anyway, she's doing all the Halloween stitches. Go check her out because I'm excited to see all her Halloween stitching. And then talking about Halloween stitching, Stitching Goddess Designs is also doing a bunch of Halloween stitching, but she's also starting a hashtag called 13 Stitches of Halloween. So it's basically going to be from the 1st to the 31st of October, and it can be 13 whips, 13 starts, 13 days, and she is specifically doing 13 projects. And I'm thinking now, like, I want to jump in on that. So maybe I'm not going to start all the things, but I do have that Halloween Mickey piece, and I do have my cryptid Sal. So maybe I'll do like 13 days of just Halloween stitching. So I'll work 13 days on my Halloween Mickey or something. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see. So yeah, so those are just my couple little shout outs here and there. And then I guess we'll get into what I've also been doing, which totally comes together because all of it is cross stitch stuff. I've been neglecting the sewing, not gonna lie, neglecting the sewing. And a little bit of diamond painting, although I finally started a diamond painting, and it's a Halloween one, so trying to get it done. We'll see, because I'd love that up on my wall as well for Halloween, but that might take a little more time. Anyways, so on my Twitch, small shameless plug here, I got a Twitch now. It's not a small, it's good. I'm hoping it's going to be a bigger shameless plug, but anyways, I started a Twitch channel, and I do a stream twice a week as of right now, so far. If you haven't seen some of my other streams, I do post them here on YouTube, so you can see that. But on Wednesdays, I started doing fabric dyeing. So I had a bunch of white Adas and such, and we're experimenting. We're doing fabric dyeing. So in case you have missed some of those, here's the pieces that I've done so far. But we've been doing like ice dyeing, so that's an ice dye. My go at a solid. This was viewer recommended for like a navy and peach, and there's some gray in there. Another ice dye. Ice dyeing's so cool. This was my first one, and this was like Ariel inspired with the greens, purples, and red. Got a nice bright fuchsia teal. And then these were from just this last stream that I did this week. So since I had hit my affiliate, I tried to do like a sprinkle sort of thing. So that kind of worked with this ice dyeing technique. We're gonna try some more next stream, a different technique to try and get that sprinkle look. See what I mean here? See the sprinkles? And then I did some reds because I didn't have very much of that. This one was the same maroon, but I tried to do like some brown to get more of like a steampunky look. Didn't get there, but like I said, it's all experimentation and it's been really fun. I got this really grungy, orangey gray one, super grungy. It came out really cool. And then I got this was the same sort of, this was the same dyes as the last one, just a different technique that we used. You can see how totally different it came out. So we've been having a lot of fun on there doing different fabric dyeing, and so I've been working on that. And then on Fridays, I made up my own cross stitch game. Yes, I did that. And it's basically like a board game, and I play against time essentially. So it's like a roll of slides. My goal is to basically stitch time against monsters, all kinds of monsters, and I have to beat 6 out of 10 monsters to win the game pretty much. And on that one, I actually do have a new start because I didn't want to mess up any of my nice projects, even though I essentially did that this month with all the frogging. But this one is intentionally supposed to be ugly. I have no reservations on making this nice. It's just supposed to be as many stitches as I can get in 2 minutes, and whatever happens, happens. And then it has different things like random color change and stitching with metallic threads, and I'm about to add a couple more new actions and stuff, but this is what we've got so far. It's basically a free pattern from the DMC website. It's an ice cream cone. So it's sweets, it's desserts. That was the closest thing that was to me that I could find on there. But this is the waffle cone, and as you can see, we got some fun colors in there. And I believe I have this ugliest little knot. I don't know if you can see that. There's an ugly little knot that gets stuck there on top. So it's just a fun hang out with me stream. I'm not a stitch with me kind of girl, like to talk about my day. Yeah. So this is just something that I can do to entertain you guys, I guess. Because that's what streaming is, right? That's what spending time with me is I need to entertain you. Why would you watch me otherwise? So we have a lot of fun on there, and that's on Friday nights. I go ahead and have my drinks and stuff, and that's the time where I can let my mom hair down and take a breath. So I have that on Fridays. So I'm thinking on my streams on Friday, since I play this game by myself, you can totally join in. You know, it's very easy. It sounds complicated, but it's very easy to play. But you can totally join in if you want. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna do giveaways on Friday during my stream. Now that I'm affiliated, I can play with things like channel points and subscriptions and all the fun things. So I'm thinking if I win the game, I will give away something. And if I lose the game, I will give away something else. So in mine, maybe if I win, I will give away one of my needle minders. And if I lose, I'm planning to make little tiny magnets, snap into magnets. I'm thinking I will give away mini like accessory bags that have so much scrap fabric and like little pieces, you know. So this will be perfect to like get rid, like stash buster, scrap buster kind of projects. So I'll just do little tiny cross stitch or whatever accessory bags, little tiny ones that won't cost much to ship out. So that's the plan for Fridays. I don't know when that'll come to play. Hopefully next week, we'll see, but that's the plan with my Friday game night. So come hang out. It's going to be a good time. Any stream, I think I'll make it so that you can gain points for Friday nights. to enter in or whatever I'm gonna do. So definitely come hang out. It's pretty fun. I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. It's really great to like interact with people like one-on-one now, and not like comments like 5 years later. I'm like, wait, what's she talking about? What was I talking about in the video? What did I say in this video? I don't remember. And so like sometimes I even have to go back in my videos and rewatch to see what you guys are commenting on. And then also on the side, I have been working on stuff to open an Etsy shop. Now I wanted to open it on the 1st of this month, but as the month went, I just did not make that. But I'm still working on stuff, so hopefully soon I might just pop up what I have just to get it going, and then as I make more stuff, I'll just add it as I go. But I've been making my very extra large project bags. I've had so many recommendations for the really large project bags that hold my Hades. So Persephone obviously is in a very large bag, and then also Celestine is in a very large bag. So this is an 18 by 14, and you can see everything's in there. I got my pattern, I've got all my floss. I can usually fit my Q-snap when I'm using it inside as well, with my project obviously, and then grime guards. If I want to add accessory bag in there, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room in here. So I figure since there's so many of the normal size bags and not enough of the extra large bags, I'm starting to make them. So here's a few that I have completed so far. So I have this one with hot cocoa, marshmallows, and then it has the little, put a little charm on there. I have a Hello Kitty, and she's in little Halloween costumes. So since this is October, I figure I'd start with a couple Halloween ones first. I have this one, and this one is Halloween costumes hanging. I also have another Hello Kitty, and this one is just her in a little pumpkin outfit. And then I also am making my Nightmare Before Christmas one, and this one he's in his Santa outfit, and it'll have the little light bulb charms on it. But this is mine. It's a little smaller, but I have one cut out. I just haven't put it together yet. So I have those started, and then I just got in the charms for my Halloween ones especially. So there's a bunch of cute little Halloween charms in there. So I'm gonna work on putting the charms on everything. So I have the Halloween bags, and then I've also been working on needle minders, and I finally figured out a design that I'm really in love with. So this is like a Decoden style needle minder, and Decoden is Japanese. It's means like decorated phone essentially. And I was able to figure out how to put a magnet for your needle. Where is my, so for example, my little snag nabbit. There's one charm on each one that will have a magnet on it. But yeah, they came out so cute. I absolutely adore these. They're adorable. But it's like, it's made with clay, but it's made to look like cake icing, and then you put all the little charms on it. But yeah, that's super cute. So I'm making a bunch of these. I just bought more magnets because I ran out of magnets. I bought more decorations, more pearls, flat back pearls and stuff to decorate everything up. So that's a lot of my haul, was all the stuff to make everything, and then also the charms for the bags, and then all the fabric that I've been dyeing and all the dyes. So I've been busy. I have been going a little crazy with the cross stitch stuff, but it's for the shop. So hopefully I'm gonna be making some more needle minders soon. So these will go up. The bags that I've finished, once I get the charms on, will go up, and all the fabrics that I dyed will go up, -1 probably, because I might steal one of those. I'm thinking of starting Hex Hotel, which is by D's 20 Stitches, and I forget who the second person is. I'll pop it up. They collaborated and made this really cute haunted house, so I might I might start it. We'll see. In Halloween, in October. Like I said, I have that extra floss for my other kit, so, or from my Halloween Quaker, so I might use that. So that's the plan, because I need to start saving some money. We want to go home for Christmas, and like I said, times have been tough. So hopefully this house gives us that extra spending money that we really want, so we can take our girls finally to Disneyland, because it's been 2 years since the princesses got sick and we had to cancel our Disney Paris trip. So when we go home to California, and we live near Disneyland over there. So it's the perfect time. Christmas will be perfect to give them that, you know, Disney magic, as long as everything is still open. But yeah, so this is why I'm opening my Etsy shop finally. I'm reopening it because I had an Etsy shop. I just sold other things. So I'm going to reopen it and add all this new stuff. So I will let everyone know on my social media when it's up and running. So that is coming up this month. So I have been really busy. I've been trying to just stay busy. Like I said, you don't know what someone's going through. And I was going through it. So, but that is all I have to say. All I have to say today, I guess. I wish I had more. Oh, the plans. Why do I always forget the plans? My plan this month is what I'm going to do to even everything out is I'm not going to stitch on any of, well, I guess I can't say that because I finished 2 of them, but I'm not going to stitch on Sweary Video Games, and I'm not going to stitch on Moss and Bugs. Those are my 2 small ones. I mean, the cryptids are tiny, so that's a Sal. So that one's gonna get stitched on. I might not stitch on the new normal this month. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm only gonna work on my full coverages this month. That way it kind of evens out with the progresses. I will keep the same goals with these. I know I said 2,000 stitches, so I might up them all a little bit. So I'll say 3,000 stitches on Celestine. Might be kind of high, but I'm only working on 4 projects. Yeah, so Celestine. On Persephone, I'm super gonna aim to finish 2 pages because 1 page takes me a week. So hopefully I can do 2 pages to catch up on this one, because I like to stay caught up on this one since I'm super consistent on this one. For Windrunner, I'll probably finish the row. I think was I at 3 pages? I'm at 2. So maybe I'll finish the row and I'll do that whole last page. I'll do the 1 whole page on this. We'll see. So that's the goal for this one. And then I will finally start Mickey's Halloween. And like I said, this might be my 13 days of stitching. And I'll just stitch on this for 13 days. I'll try and get a whole page, because I think there's a lot of black on the first page anyway, so that's pretty easy, mindless like stitching. Then I'll just keep stitching a little more till I hit, so I have a few stitches every day for 13 days. So maybe like 100 stitches a day. If I hit my page, I'll do 100 stitches a day to complete the 13 days. So that's the plans, that's the goals, that's what's been going on. October is gonna be insane. I told Bad Juju that it's got to get it all out today. This is the last day of September. Next month I'm busy. I ain't got time next month. Lots to do. I got two costumes to do. My girls are going to be Wonder Woman. It used to be Supergirl. We're Wonder Woman now. She looks just like Wonder Woman, so it's perfect. And then we're doing Batgirl for my oldest. Trying to open this Etsy shop. Got to get it up and running. I have my Twitch streams twice a month. I might add an extra one this weekend or here and there with just maybe sewing project bags and stuff. Just you can come say hi, stop by. I'm just gonna be working kind of thing. Thinking about that. I mean, Halloween, all the activities. So it's busy. Here's to hoping next month is my month. Please let it be my month, please. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. Go ahead, subscribe if you have not subscribed. You can do the likes or whatever you like to do down there. All information is linked down below. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!